Elon Musk said that Tesla is executing better than ever. Ross Gerber, the billion-dollar fund manager, tweeted today, Elon has now erased $600 billion of Tesla wealth and still nothing from the Tesla board of directors. It's wholly unacceptable, says Ross Gerber. To which, of course, Elon replies and says, Tesla is executing better than ever. We don't control the Federal Reserve. That is the real problem. Is it? One thing that it sure is drama. So what is actually happening? Let's answer that question. Gary Black says that, respectfully, Elon, long-term interest rates drive Tesla's stock price, not the Fed funds rate controlled by the Fed. Since you closed the Twitter deal, Tesla is down 33%. NASDAQ is flat in the meantime. If it was the Fed, all NASDAQ stocks would be down. And sure, you can see Tesla stock plummeting, while NASDAQ is staying relatively flat indeed. But does this tell us the whole story? While NASDAQ 100, since Twitter deal close, has pretty much been flat, when we look at 1 year data, last 12 months, it is down almost 30%. And if you do believe that Tesla indeed is a technology company, wouldn't you also want to look at NASDAQ 100 technology sector? It is down 35%. Ouch. However, my personal favorite index, S&P 500, is only down 16%. This year, in the last 12 months, it was down, however, at one point about 25-ish%. So there is a lot more to the story than it first appears to the eye. You see, if you look at NASDAQ 100 technology sector, which if you believe that Tesla is going to benefit from full self-driving, you would surely expect Tesla to mostly be a technology company, at least long term, and these companies are valued quite differently. However, we also have to point out the obvious. Twitter deal closed relatively recently, and as we can see right here, NASDAQ actually, surprisingly, that is NASDAQ 100 technology sector, actually went up since Twitter deal closed. Twitter deal closed on October 27th. NASDAQ 100 technology sector is up 4% during this time, which is how much Tesla stock should be up during this time as well. So sure, I would agree with Elon that we could attribute losses until October 27th to the Fed. If you calculate these losses exactly from a year ago, then you get 27.5% loss, or 43%, almost 44% if you calculate from the all-time high. But the losses from October 27th until now, that I would attribute to Twitter shenanigans. So all of them are telling the truth in their own way. But I would be mostly on Elon's side, specifically because he's saying Tesla is executing better than ever. Now let's take a look deeper into that. First, it is very obvious that Tesla shareholders are deeply concerned about Elon's Twitter shenanigans, many of them at least. There's this tweet to which Elon replied, the Fed hasn't helped, but the real problem is shareholders are concerned that Twitter is consuming too much of your time. It's a valid concern, and I agree that it certainly is. Elon says, I literally just finished my meeting going over Giga production progress. I believe Elon's approach is more like, instead of me talking about the problem, let me just fix the problem. The Cybertruck casting machines are arriving and are being set up as we speak. I personally now believe that Cybertruck has entered the third step in the cycle. You may pause the video if you like to take a look longer. These machines obviously are going to be a big deal, both in size and in actual result to Tesla's profits. If you need your reading glasses, you may grab them right now because this is a person and these are going to be used to make the Cybertruck eventually. This is also good news for us Tesla stock investors. It appears that Twitter is seeking new investors, which would reduce the likelihood of Elon Musk having to sell more Tesla stock in the future. Hopefully Elon doesn't sell again, but I don't know. Elon selling and factory shutdowns, two things I hate as a Tesla stock investor. I have something that is quite bullish for Tesla stock. We'll get into that in just a moment. Meanwhile, Twitter usage by real humans once again reaches all-time highs. This is what we want to see. We want Twitter to work. We want Twitter to succeed as Tesla stock investors, so Elon stops selling his Tesla stock. We, of course, know that the backlog has shrunk a lot and the prices of Tesla vehicles are seemingly coming down. There have been price cuts in China. We do have a temporary cut, it appears, in US as well. And now a new one is happening in Europe at the same time too. But we have this other data which is not really talked enough about, which may give us a slightly different perspective on this backlog. You see, when you have a backlog this gigantic around here, where you have to wait for like a full year just to get your vehicle, you start to get many people that place an order just because they are thinking, oh, just in case I want a car later, then maybe I will get it and I just need to put a small tiny deposit, so I'll just put it now and I'll just worry about it later. And also, when Tesla starts increasing prices, you also get a whole bunch of people that are placing orders just because they think, oh, maybe I can actually get a car. Maybe I sort of want a car, but I don't really need one, but I can take delivery of one if I really have to. But also, you know what? I'm going to put that very tiny deposit and maybe Tesla will increase prices a lot. And maybe when I take delivery, I could maybe even sell the car immediately at a profit. So you might have had some people like that. And here is something that shows that might have actually been happening. There has been this article saying that Tesla has updated one of its policies that could see your order being canceled if you don't follow the rules carefully. And I can confirm through a friend who had a Tesla delivered recently, he wanted to postpone the delivery by just like a few days. Something like about 8 days or something like that. So more than 7 days that is allowed. And he said, Tesla told him, we're just going to cancel your order. You either take it now or we're just canceling. We can't make an exception. So they are quite strict. And James here did a much better job explaining the change than the article did. It forces people placing new orders to accept delivery within 7 days of VIN assignment, with very little to no flexibility for additional delays. Definitely true, as my friend has experienced. In essence, the wait times now more closely reflect order rates. In the past, the data was not. It was not clean. And so it's possible that the decline in wait times has very little to do with order rates declining and more to do with the other three factors that James mentioned above, which we will get through as well. So that change in policy by Tesla, it certainly has some impact for sure. How much? It is hard to say, but definitely some impact. Also, China production rate increased by 30% quarter over quarter. This impacts wait times in China and outside of China. So it's not that demand is slowing, it's that Tesla is producing so many more vehicles is the thing. And of course, Berlin and Austin are ramping production as well. And let's remember that Tesla still is at record prices pretty much everywhere outside of China, and costs are falling. And this is the important part, they can afford and will cut prices to increase order rate as production increases. So the change in policy by Tesla happened in October. It looks like in the middle of October. So all of the data that would be clean data would start from the month of November. So we would only have 1 month to compare. So it wouldn't be fully clean data. But going forward, we can look at the data from November and this December, and we will be able to then judge, okay, this is the backlog. Now an increase means there's a lot more people ordering, and a decrease, that's actual decrease in the backlog. And given that Elon is saying that Tesla is executing better than ever, it would appear to me that Tesla is not really having any significant problems that Tesla just cannot handle. Remember how Elon said that Tesla believes that it will sell every single car it produces as far as Elon can see into the future? Well, it was not exactly clear to me how long Elon can see into the future. 3 months, 1 year, 2 years, 5 years? That is a question that I would like to ask Elon on an earnings call. But given that he said this, I would assume, based on what he's saying here, that Tesla is not experiencing a demand problem of any sort, despite however it may appear when we look at the backlog. And it's also really important to keep in mind that we don't know everything that is going on at Tesla. Are they working on that new $30,000, $25,000 vehicle right now? Could they announce it and release it within months? Is that possible? I don't expect that they would be able to do it that fast, but if I was leading Tesla, I would not want to announce that cheaper car until it was ready to be produced in like a month. Because in China, people order the cheapest Model 3 and the cheapest Model Y because they can barely afford these vehicles anyway. So announcing a cheaper vehicle will cannibalize sales. Definitely in China. US is different, but in China, you will definitely experience cannibalization. So Elon saying this, it gives me a few things to seriously think about. First, I think it says that Elon wants to stay at Tesla. I think that's quite clear. Otherwise, he wouldn't really be saying this probably if he wants to leave. Although you could also make an argument that Elon is saying this because he wants to build up the team and he can step down and spend less time at Tesla. Maybe that is what he's saying at the same time too. But because he also added this tweet later to this Twitter thread, my conclusion would be that Elon is definitely spending time at Tesla and he wants to keep running Tesla. And you people, you just calm down. What are you talking about? Why are you freaking out? Calm down, everybody. Take a deep breath, slowly, and then calm down. What many shareholders would like to see, I think, is just Elon showing us who is the number 2 person at Tesla who is capable of also running Tesla, at least with day-to-day operations. I think that would make everyone just chill for a moment and just calm down and worry a lot less. Or if Elon tweeted every day about Tesla, that would be quite helpful as well. These are 48 reasons why I only own Tesla stock in my stock portfolio. My name is Matt Post. Just like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.